Hi there, let me show you how you can run public Algorand infrastructure in the cloud so that anybody can make his account online with your participation Algorand node. I will demonstrate this on Void network. Hello, this is Ludo, your everyday Algonaut. Kubernetes is Docker orchestration platform where you can deploy Algorand node. Let's take a look at the Linode. Um, the address is linode.com and you will need to create the account there. So let's create some cluster. Let's call this cluster void testnet. And we can select the region. So for example, Atlanta, Chicago in the US, Canada in the Europe, in Asia or Oceania. So let's pick, for example, Atlanta because I like it there. So let's not create high available plane at the moment because we want to do as cheap solution as possible. So we can use dedicated CPU or shared CPU. I prefer the dedicated CPU. It's for the instances which requires um, high workloads or consistent performance. So let's pick, for example, the cheapest one. Let's add there only one node. And let's create this cluster. Cluster has been created, so let's download the kubeconfig file. Let's click on the Kubernetes dashboard. And let's log in using kubeconfig file. Current Kubernetes deployment is quite empty. It has basically only the kube system pods up and running. So let's create the Algorand participation node. There are two ways to do it. You can do it from the console or you can do it through the dashboard. So let's go to do it through the dashboard at the moment. So let's go to the GitHub Algorand nodes and let's go to the Kubernetes Algo participation, void test participation and Linode generic node. Let's click on the deployment. So if you would use the console, you can use this command to set up everything. But we are going to use the Kubernetes dashboard. Let's start with creating the namespace. Now we are in the namespace algo participation void test. Let's now copy the rest of the document. It will create one deployment, two services, and one persistent volume claim. Let's make sure that we are in the correct namespace. And let's add new resources. Now the deployment has been created and is starting. And there is a pod up and running. So now pod, the pod is application in Kubernetes. Pod has been started, and we can check the logs. So um, the application has detected that no Genesis JSON was present at the deployment, so it copied, it's set up the new node. And it has started the catch-up process. And yeah, let's try to go in. So go node status. Go node status shows us what is the current state of the node. So at the moment, the node is in the syncing process. So let's check the node. It's running for 4 minutes. And it has been already synced up. So it's quite good. Now you can stop here if you want to run only your participation keys for your accounts. But if you want to run a public Algorand infrastructure, you have to set up the DNS records to some domain where anybody will be able to access your Algorand participation node. So in Kubernetes, we need to install the Ingress controller. In other cloud providers, it's usually installed by default. So, but in Linode, it's not. So let's go to the documentation. And this is how it's done in Linode. So we can skip the start. So we need to install the Ingress controller. So for this, I will need to use some bash console. So first thing, let's connect to the Kubernetes cluster. We can use this command in the bash so that we can use kubectl get pods. This command kubeconfig, the environmental variable, states where there is a configuration to the cluster, and this configuration then is used to communicate with the kubectl command. So now we can see that we are connected to our void test cluster. Get nodes. So let's go in and let's install the Ingress controller in Linode. So first thing is to copy the Helm. Let's run Helm repo update. Let's Let's update the permissions. And let's install the Ingress engines controller. Okay, so our controller has been installed. Let's check this, and we can see that this is our external IP address, which we can access. Okay, so we have installed the Ingress controller. Now we need to set up the domain address, the DNS records, so that we can also secure the HTTPS certificates. I have set up everything that goes to K1US to go to this server. So we can continue with the certification process. So let's install the certification manager. So first thing, we need to apply the certification manager. Second step, let's create the namespace cert manager. Let's add the cert manager there to the Helm. Let's update the Helm. And let's install the cert manager. All these steps for the Ingress installation and the cert manager installation I took from the official Linode documentation, so you can take a look at there. The link will be down in the description. So the certification manager seems to be working. So let's create the issuer. Let's create the Acme record. And let's now go back to the Kubernetes dashboard and create our first ingress. So from the Linode generic folder, I can go to the ingress and we'll copy the content. We'll go to the dashboard and we can modify this file. So let's put this US address. And let's keep everything else as is. This line is feature from Kubernetes 28, so it's not there yet. So let's upload it this way. And we can go to the ingresses. So HTTPS connection works now. So let's connect let's tell the public where they can find our node. For this, there is GitHub repository, Algorand public data, where anybody can create a pull request to register the participation node. So let's go to the void test participation nodes, and because I am the owner or product manager of this GitHub repository, I will just edit this file. So let's add here another participation node, a wallet participation server Atlanta. And let's put their address K1 US. And let's create new GUID for the node. Okay, let's commit the changes. I expect you will create pull request, and I will check the JSON validity and then commit this JSON to the GitHub. So the second participation node was added, and the deployment to the GitHub pages is in the progress. Usually the projects read this data from the GitHub pages. So for example, the list of Genesis nodes can be accessed here. But at the moment, we are interested in this file. So let's put it here. We can see that this participation node is already publicly available. So let's make this account online at this new server. At the moment, it's online at the Finland server, but I want to create participation keys at this new Atlanta server and make it run here. So let's go to the settings And I can change, for example, the public Algorand provider for void network, and I can change the participation provider to the Atlanta node. Let's go back to the account overview, and now I can click to generate the participation keys, and then the registration will be performed. So let's go click online. At this moment, the participation keys are being created at the server. This is very limited operation because only one person can do it in 2 minutes time period, because this is prevention against DDoS attacks. The generation of the participation keys is quite CPU intensive task. So let's see how long it will take at Linode with 2 cores. So this had work, and it took approximately 1.8 minutes. So let's take a look at the Kubernetes. And we can use account go, account list part keys. So now we have registered the participation key at this server. I think it would be great if also you run the public Algorand infrastructure, either at Algorand network, Void network, or Aramid network. So please consider it, and please do not run the Algod nodes at home. We need very good latency, and please use any cloud providers that you can use. For example, if you are familiar with Azure or AWS, or in this video I have shown you how to use the Kubernetes service at the Linode. Thank you for watching.